everybody, welcome to C2C Mentors. Today I have with me Shubham. Shubham is an engineer who got around 96 percentile in CAT 2020 and he's currently pursuing his MBA from VJSOM. So Shubham is here to share his preparation journey, his preparation plan, and how did he ace all the calls he had. He converted all of them. He had calls from multiple colleges, some IIMs, some non-IIMs, and he converted all of them. So he's here to share his journey. Shubham, all over to you. Could you just introduce yourself to the audience and share your journey with them?
Yes, thanks, ma'am. So, hello everyone. I am Shubham Kumar. I am from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand, and I did my schooling from here. And in ICSE 10th board, I had 94.5%. And then in 12th, I got 92% in CBSE. And then I moved on to Bangalore to do my engineering in computer science. And there also I performed well. I had 8.56 CGPA when I passed out from college. And then I worked as a software engineer at Refinitiv for the past 2 years. I was part of the wealth management department there. So my job was to build APIs. And I had appeared for CAT 2019 as well with minimal preparations. And then I decided to give a thorough preparation for CAT 2020, and then I attempted it. And I had calls from MDI, I had calls from the CAP IIMs, and I had calls from VJSOM and IIT Madras. And I converted VJSOM, and I decided to go with that because I wanted to pursue my MBA in operations. So that's why I chose VJSOM.
Right, that sounds great. So how did you start? When did you start, and when did you understand that, okay, MBA is something which you need to do or which you want to do? How did you start your preparation? What was it?
Yeah, so basically it started when I went into my job. So my role was to work closely with my managers to get the deliverables that I had. So I was working closely with them, and I was very intrigued by the job they did. Like whatever the operations managers did, whatever my product managers did. So I was very intrigued. So I used to sit with them and talk out about the different strategies or different things they do. So that thing, inspired me more to become a manager and to do my MBA. I was really interested in that rather than sitting at my desk and coding for the whole day. So that was when in 2019 I decided to go for MBA. I wasn't very sure. So I realized this very late. I started around August, September, and with minimal preparation and around 10 mocks, I attempted CAT 2019, and I got I got 92% percentile, I remember, and I had calls only from IIM Bodh Gaya and Jammu. And I went for the interview, and that went horribly wrong. I didn't wear a suit, I didn't wear a tie, and I had just gone for the interview, and I was literally scolded for that. Then I decided to give another try for CAT 2020. So after CAT 2019, I took a break of 2-3 months, and then I decided to sit for my preparation. So it was by May end when I had started with my thorough preparations, and I started with the basics. And by August, I was done with my basics, and I had started giving mocks. I had started giving mocks by July end, and although I was working, I used to take out some time during the night to study, especially after 8 p.m. And I used to study till 1, 2 in the night. And before CAT, I had saved all my holidays, and I took a 3 weeks long holiday in November. And in those 3 weeks, I used to attempt a mock every day. So in total, I had given around 45 mocks by the time CAT 2020 came. Yeah, and the main thing is to prepare a strategy after giving the mocks. While giving the mocks, mocks are not not the only source of preparation. They are for preparing your strategy and knowing your strengths and weaknesses. So the analysis of mocks really helped me, and it helped me to prepare a strategy that I could use in the CAT 2020, even though the pattern of the whole paper was changed.
Right. So you pointed out a very important thing that you started your preparation like at 8 p.m. every night, and then you went on till 1 or 2 a.m. So did you study all the 3 sections every single day, or it was one section every day? How was your schedule, daily plan?
Yeah. See, the advantage that I had was that I had almost completed the basics for my CAT 2019 preparations. So I didn't give much time for the basics because I already had that in control. So what I did was in those 3 to 4 hours that I used to study, I used to pick up a topic, and I used to solve directly the question because I was already aware of the formulas and the basic concepts. So I used to solve that for if let's say I was giving 3 years. So I used to solve a topic for those 3 years and analyze. The main thing while analyzing I did was like, how should I approach that question in a better way so that I could solve it in minimum time, and so that I have time for other questions. So yes, I used to take up one topic per day, and yes, I used to cover all 3 sections in a week. I didn't do it in a particular day.
Right, right. And then did you also devote some extra time over the weekends, or it was only for mock? How are your weekends planned?
Yes. So on Saturday, I used to give my mocks while I was working, and I kept Sunday for analyzing. I used around 6 to 7 hours for analyzing the mocks, going through each and every question. Even though I had solved it correctly during the exam, I used to analyze it and see how I could have solved it better, or how I could have saved time here. Right. And so it used to take a good 6 to 7 hours. So I used to keep Sundays for that. And yes, Saturdays for completely for mocks.
Right. And how did you analyze mocks? Because mock analysis is a very crucial part, because attempting a mock is one thing and analyzing them is altogether a different thing. So how was your analysis plan?
Yeah. So I maintained an Excel sheet for that. I used to write down the topics, and inside those topics there are various concepts. So you can't be strong with all the concepts in a topic, right? So I used to jot down those concepts in my Excel sheet, and for every mock I used to see if the concept I had, I had the question for which I had not solved that concept correctly. In the next mock I did it correctly or not, and between those 2 mocks I used to take time to prepare for those concepts. So yeah, that maintaining an Excel sheet actually helped a lot, and keeping track of what I did that helped me a lot with the CAT 2020 preparation.
Right. And now people also have this notion that you have to complete 100% of the syllabus and you have to attempt the maximum number of questions in the paper. Do you agree or disagree, or what is your take on it?
Yeah. See, it's not necessary to complete, the 100% of the syllabus, because all the topics don't have equal weightages. If you see for probability, right, you will get maybe 1 or 2 questions in the whole paper. And let's say for a non-engineer who's not that acquainted with probability, you can surely leave that. Just know the basics, so that once you see the question, you'll know the LOD of the question and you'll know whether to attempt it or not. So yes, you can leave out topics, but yes, try to cover at least 80% of the topics that are there, and topics which have a heavy weightage in the CAT paper. Yeah.
Right, agreed. And what was your plan on the D-Day? What was your D-Day strategy? That how would you attend? Because it was completely changed, right? CAT 2019 was different pattern. CAT 2020 was different pattern. How did you go about it?
Yeah. So one good thing happened was we got to know about the pattern change in August or September itself. And after that only we got the new mock tests that are there. Whatever test series we had taken, we got the new mock tests by September end. So in those 2 months, I formulated a strategy, and for each section, I had formulated a strategy, and I decided one thing, that whatever the kind of paper it be, I'll not change my strategy, because let the paper change, your strategy will work on your D-Day if you have worked through it in your mocks. So I kept up with this strategy in CAT 2020 also, and I fared well. I was not very happy with my preparation, but yeah, it was a decent score.
Okay, great. And how about after the calls you got, and how did you go for your GDPI preparation?
Yeah. So I joined the ISP batch in January after I had the CAT score and the different calls. So I believe half your CAT GDPI preparation is already there in your head, because most of the answers are based on your past experiences. Even the answer to the basic why MBA question is based on your past experiences. So 50% of your job is already done. And the next 50% is to just formulate a structure, like how and when to say and what to say about your past experiences. So I started that in Jan end or maybe Feb first week. I started with my GDPI preparation. So I attended all the sessions taken by Ketan sir, and I was told about the structure that needs to be followed, the basic questions that are asked, and what kind of answers should be given to those questions. So yes, I maintained a diary where I wrote all the answers, and there are actually a very few things you could learn in those 2 months, new things, right? So I was told that I should learn the basics of each and every vertical that's there in an MBA, like the basic things about operations, marketing, and that really helped a lot actually. And the basic and the actual exponential learning curve started when I actually went for the interviews, because it's one thing to know how to say the answers, and it's another thing to say that answer directly in an interview. So I'll tell you one experience what happened. So I was working as a software engineer in wealth management, right? So I was told to introduce myself, and for some reason, there were a couple of interviews where they assumed that I was a wealth manager. Okay, and I worked for the stock market. My job was to build APIs with the stock market data, and they assumed that I worked directly in the stock market. And 2 of my college interviews were solely driven about the stock market. So what I learned that from those interviews is, it's one thing to drive your interview, okay, but to go in that interview and to know what you're saying, each and every word matters. Like whatever you say, you should be prepared to answer for those questions. And one it was a very big college, like in the top 10. And what happened was, like, the interview was around 10 minutes. The first 8 minutes was about stock markets. And after 8 minutes, I took the courage and told them that, okay, I'm just a software engineer and I don't know about stock market. And within 2 minutes, the interview was wrapped. They were not at all interested after that. So yes, after that, I made a point that, okay, I need to learn something about stock market, because the word wealth management and stock market, right? I couldn't have removed that from my description, because that was where I worked. Right. So yes, yeah. So you should be thorough with each and every word that you say in your interview, because that's what drives the interview, and that what's that breaks the cut that's there.
Right, exactly. And now when you have converted all these colleges and when you've started your MBA journey, how does it feel now?
Yeah, so now that I think of it, right, it was a journey with a lot of ups and downs, because mocks are not always consistent. Sometimes you get a low score, sometimes you get a high score. So keeping yourself motivated is very important throughout the journey. And yes, I've enjoyed each and every second of this journey. The intriguing part, the anxiousness that we get after we get the CAT result, and after we have given all the interviews, waiting for the results, it's a totally different experience. And this is once in a lifetime experience, because for most people, it's the last degree, right? And this kind of anxiousness and this kind of preparation, you probably won't be doing further in your career. So it was a very enriching journey for me. I got to learn a lot of new things. And yes, I'm very happy with how it turned out at the end.
Right. Thank you so much for spending time with us and having this conversation. What would be your advice to all the aspirants out there who are in this dilemma? Ki now there are like 10-12 days remaining for the month of July, and then August, September, October is what they have in hand. Hoga, nahi hoga, should we try for next attempt? What would be your advice on it?
Yeah, see, the only thing I would say is start giving mocks early on, because by that, you get to know what your strengths and weaknesses are, and you get to know better on things of what you need to work on. So start giving mocks early. Don't wait for your whole syllabus to be completed, because by the time you complete that syllabus, the whole syllabus, right, it will be August or maybe September, and you'll not get enough time to give the mocks. So start with the mocks and continue with your preparation. Don't just depend on the mocks, right? Once you have completed the basics, you'll need to go for the advanced level questions as well. Don't just complete the basics and start with the mocks and solely depend on the mocks for your preparation. Mocks are only for your strategy preparation and finding your strengths and weaknesses. This was one thing I did wrong in 2019, and I got to learn that this is not the way. So I advise people to not do that.
Thank you so much for Shubham for this wonderful advice. Like, all the aspirants listening to this video and listening to him should learn from his mistakes and his strengths also. So it takes up courage to be open to your mistakes, that, okay, this is the mistake I did and you people don't do that. And he has done it. So thank you so much for that. That's all we have for this video, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.